Binny are just so inspiring, and I really think that is such a huge part of their appeal and why they're so popular. Not to mention the fact that they're just immensely talented. Hi everyone, welcome back to Once Upon a Melody, or welcome if you're new. I'm Melody, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Binny documentary Part 1, Born to Win, and reacting to the Part 2 trailer. So if you're excited for my review and you want to watch my reaction, go ahead and hit that like button, and without any further ado, let's get into it. I haven't recorded a video for a while because I haven't been feeling very well if you've seen my community tab post. Yeah, so I'm finally feeling better today. Thank the gods. Whatever gods you believe in, go ahead and thank them for me. I am feeling better and I'm able to film a video. It has been a journey. But what has also been a journey is Binny's journey in this documentary. So this is only part 1, which was Born to Win. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. It does go over some stuff that I have already watched and learned about them. For example, one of them I'll have to put up on the screen here who said it because I can't remember, but one of them said like something to the effect in the beginning of the documentary, everyone just thinks we got handed things on a silver platter, but that's not true. And I am so glad that I watched all of this other content beforehand, their interviews and things like that, because I knew that wasn't even close to the truth. Like they had to work very, very hard for what they have. This documentary shows that and proves that even beyond what we all knew before. So it's truly amazing, an amazing journey that they went on. For example, when they were all auditioning for, what is it called? Star Hunt?
Star Hunt.
I think that's what it's called. I didn't take very good notes. I'm so sorry. Like they had to stand in line for this for hours without any food or water. And Stacy and Gwen specifically said that they were in line all by themselves away from home. And I felt so sad when they said that. But I mean, look at what it got them. Like it got them into the group. So I guess it was all worth it in the end. But I do hope that, you know, if this management company does make it any other groups, I know they also made the boy group. I really hope that they don't have to go through that again because that's really inhumane. At least we know that Stacy and Gwen had to go through that. I mean, nobody should have to stand in line for that long without any food or water. Like that's just ridiculous. And also, speaking of food, before we get any further, in this documentary, there is talk of, I will give kind of like a trigger warning, not exactly for eating disorders, but for disordered eating for sure. So yeah, just be aware of that. So during the auditions, which I did not know, Aya got dropped after the very first round. I had no idea that that had happened. And that must have been so very difficult for her. But I'm really glad that there was one manager in particular that went back and said, hey, we need to add her back in. Like, why did we drop her? She was so good. So I'm really glad that they put her back in. And everyone but her went through the boot camp. The girls said that it was so cutthroat and people were getting cut left and right after just one mistake. And girls were crying and calling their parents all the time. Specifically, Mika said that she called her mom and was just crying and wasn't sure she wanted to do this anymore. And I don't know what, like, I don't know if they just did this for the drama, like for the show, for the competition show or what, but it just really seems like it was really, really harsh way to do this kind of competition. This is one reason why I'm not a huge fan of competition shows. Like I watched 16, A2K, the Nizzy Project, and you know, they say like they do this to toughen the girls up and whatever, but in my opinion, I feel like they do it for the show, for the drama, and I really don't think that that's okay. But overall, I did really like that we got to see these behind the scenes of the boot camp and the training before they actually became the group. I kind of thought that the documentary was just going to be about their concert, the Binnyverse concert. So that was really interesting that we got to see all these behind the scenes of their training, and we got to see some interviews with the trainers and the actual management team. So that was really neat that we got to learn who they are. And I feel like at least some of their management team, specifically like their social media managers and their costumer, seem to be very, very supportive of them and very, very loving towards the girls. I feel like that's really sweet that they have a close relationship relationship with them. So I think it was neat that we really saw who is behind the entire show, or like, who is behind the entire group. And they went through both Korean and Filipino training for the group. So they went through a Korean training program, and that one was very, very tough. They specifically said that one was a lot tougher on them, the girls did. At one point, they said that they could only eat eggs and bananas. And I just thought, what the fuck? That is so wrong. They weren't by any means overweight to begin with. They were all in pretty good shape, in my personal opinion. I am not a doctor, but to make them eat that way just for aesthetic reasons when they're dancing and practicing and they have to work so hard every single day, that is not okay. And that should never have been done, in my opinion. And COVID, of course, was also very, very hard on everyone. Benny were just locked in a house with a couple of their management team, and they had to work and create content throughout all of that. And they had to try to stay relevant and make money throughout all of that. And I feel like a lot of us can really relate to that, because a lot of us still had to continue working through COVID as well. We didn't get to stop. And, they were not giving up. And I am so impressed by that. And it really did give me a lot of hope that even though they had such a tough time during COVID, that they didn't give up, even though they weren't seeing any results from what they were doing. Like, their fan base wasn't really growing and they weren't able to connect with their fans. They couldn't have any concerts or meet and greets or anything like that. So it just really impressed me and really gave me hope. And of course, I cried all over again during the part with Sheena and her mom, and it's just so heartbreaking that she did not get to make it home in time to see her mom before she got buried, because of all the protocols and things that she had to go through to get back home from where she was. It's just such a tough time. So, I'm so happy that they all made it through all of that, and they're just so strong. And I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it over and over again until you guys get sick of it. Benny are just so inspiring, and I really think that is such a huge part of their appeal and why they're so popular. Not to mention the fact that they're just immensely talented. They all have such inspiring stories of where they came from and how they got to where they are now. One part in particular that I really liked learning about in this documentary was that they upcycled their own outfits for the Coconut Nut music video. I loved that. I still love that song, by the way. It really picks me up when I'm down. It's such a cute song. You don't see that at all these days. And I just found that really, really neat that they would take that upon themselves to do. During this time, they were just kind of waiting, kind of in a limbo to make it big. And they didn't know when that was going to happen. And they just had to keep on trying. And like at times they weren't even sure if they were going to keep on trying. And there was the whole with their network, the ABS, CBS, and like they weren't sure what was going to happen there. And kind of like the rest of us that are trying to make a living on the internet and on YouTube, you just kind of wait and hope for that one moment that's going to make it big. And that's either you're going to go viral or one of your videos gets kind of popular and people finally start watching you. Like for me, it was my very first Benny reaction. And that video, I think, has over 13,000 views on it now, which thank you so much to Blooms out there. Like, that's amazing. And I can't thank you enough for sharing those videos and watching those videos and your continued support for me on this channel. But like Benny were in the same spot. Like they were just waiting and hoping for that one moment when they were going to get big. And I'm not even big. I'm still a really small YouTube channel, but Benny really did make it big with Pantropico. That song went viral and they worked so hard and saw basically nothing for years, they said in the documentary. But that's basically what happened with Benny, was they didn't see anything for like years. It's so wild. And their blow up just happened so quickly that I was not really that surprised with what happened to Aya. She started having horrible panic attacks with performing, and it's just so heart-wrenching to see that part. It was so hard to watch her go through that, but I'm really, really glad that she's healing now. But like that level of success that quickly, I feel like would affect a lot of people that way. It's really, really a hard thing to deal with. And they were all working so hard every single day that the stress was just really getting getting to them, and it was really hard to see all of them go through that. I've definitely been in that spot where I've worked myself too hard and made myself sick, and that happened to a few of them in this documentary. Aya and Gwen got some kind of infection. They kind of left it on a cliffhanger with her, but she got sick and couldn't do some of the show, even though she worked herself through it. And it's so wild that they just push themselves so hard. But they really do support themselves just like sisters. And a few of them said that in the documentary, that, they didn't grow up with sisters, or they were single children, and, God gave them 7 sisters. And I just thought that was really, really sweet. They really do belong together as a group. And you can see that in the way that they work with one another and the way that they help each other. And it wasn't like that at the beginning. They said they fought constantly just over the silliest little things, but I have a sister myself, and I feel like that's, that's definitely something that we used to do when we were younger too. We fought all the time. And now that we're adults, we don't fight nearly as much, but we don't live with each other. That's just something that sisters go through. But now they're the kind of sisters that they get along and they support each other. And they just really belong together. Wonderful. So now we're going to go into the part 2 trailer. I'm super excited for part 2 to come out. Yeah, so chapter 2 is called Here With You. And yes, I did subscribe to I Want TFC. I have a couple of other P-dramas to watch on there. If you guys have any suggestions of any other shows that I should watch, please leave it in the comments down below, because I kind of want to get into it now that I have a subscription on there. I might as well use it, right? Okay, let's watch the trailer. Ooh. Yeah, these huge crowds that they have now from the 20 or whatever that was at their first fan meeting. It's just crazy. Benny fever. Yeah, that's what I've got. I've caught the Benny fever. Gosh, it's just so many people. No. Oh gosh, yeah, there's always, when you're becoming more popular, there's always going to be haters. Not necessarily haters, but just, people that want to, they get jealous. So that's basically what it is. Entitled, They worked so hard for so many years. What? I guess, but at this time, people didn't really know that. They didn't know what we know now.
Much more attention to us. Yung freedom talaga namin to go everywhere we want to, syempre, it's a price you have to pay talaga.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, I don't really want to bring specific stars into this, but I'm sure if I mention this, you'll know what I mean. But specific stars have been speaking up about this kind of stuff recently that shouldn't be accepted, like stalking and people following you and taking pictures of you when you don't want them to, and trying to touch you when you don't want them to, and speaking up about how it's not okay. And I think that's really, really cool that they're speaking up about that.
We're careful outside. Huli po namin Jensen, 6 lang yung blooms namin.
6? Oh my gosh. That's so wild. So this is the other side of it though. They had so few people before, and now they just have so many people that love them and want to see them, and it's just so amazing. But I do feel bad that they're going to have to be more careful out in public than they were before. But on one hand, that is kind of the price you pay, but on the other hand, is it okay for fans to be doing this kind of stuff? I feel like I want to make a video on that too. They are so, so loved. Oh, that's really sweet. I feel like the second part is going to be even more dramatic. I need more tissues for sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh, more hospital visits and everything. No estimated date yet, so I'm not sure if it will be up when I upload this video or not, but I will be making a review again to part 2. So make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss my review to part 2. But I feel like part 2 is definitely going to be more dramatic, and I'm going to need more tissues for that as well. I'm definitely going to be crying. Oh my gosh. But yeah, they really just tug at your heartstrings, don't they? I said that I feel like that's part of their appeal, is that they have such strong backstories, and you know, just how hard they've had to work from where they started to where they are now is just so amazing. And I feel like that's something that can give everyone some hope. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought about my review down below. If there was anything I missed, please point it out. What was your favorite part of part 1 of the documentary? What are you looking forward to in part 2? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. And if you liked it, go ahead and give me a like. If you didn't like it, you can go ahead and dislike it too. It's all engagement for me. So make sure again that you subscribe, turn on notifications. I also have memberships open if you want to help out this channel monetarily, and you're able to do so. Again, no pressure. There are also affiliate links down in the description below that you can click if you want to help out this channel that way. And as always, don't forget to drink some water, take your medicine, and eat something today if you haven't done those 3 things yet. And thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!